So the nameless monk turned out to be Karateka, the ancient coatl, sworn by old gods to protect the Euron Stone. The dads learned that some 30 years ago, Jesus of the Orc Wars discovered his companion, the orc Niall, was in fact Tempest, the god of honorable combat. Jesus somehow trapped Tempest in the stone, and in doing so allowed the vile god Grumpsh into the world to sow his seeds of destruction and chaos in the Breen Valley and perhaps even further afield. Abel, who against all odds made his way into the stone, parlayed with his god, and then broke this campaign wide open by swearing himself to Ionas Silhavine, attuning to the Silverwind family jewels, and used its magic to summon the coatl into the Euron Stone. Meanwhile, Ionas and Filnyr made quick work of the monks and mooks of the Snowflower Death Cult. Now, inside a lean-to shack, on the hallowed ruins of a temple of a long-dead elven civilization, you all get some time to catch your breath and watch over Abel as he snores and cradles the god-prison boulder on a mostly dry bale of hay in the corner. Fellas, are you ready for the Dungeon Dads?
Ready.
Oh, yes.
Ready.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see 'em on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care. Just along for the ride, but everyone must stand. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. As always, I am your DM, Tom Blaylock.
Ow!
What's up? What's up?
And I'm joined here today by John Watson, Ionas Silhavine.
What's up, man?
Oh, man, I am so excited for this. This is so good. It's been a little bit since we recorded.
It's been
It's
a
awesome.
minute.
And Tim Carr, who's playing the half-elf Filnyr Omajira.
I am playing him. I am playing him indeed. It's good to be here.
It's good to be here, too. And Sam could not make it tonight, but that's okay because even if he was here, he'd be doing the same thing, which is sleeping the F off. Abel has exhausted himself by traveling through stone and also coming face to face with his god. So Abel is passed out. You guys do not know how to wake him up, but you've all gotten a nice long rest. You've gotten your spells back. And
Got some new toys.
you got some new toys. You leveled up. Every once in a while, you do hear your war priest grumble in his sleep. Oh, yeah, God, Tim has got. I don't believe it.
Somewhere some magic goes away.
Yes, right. And your hut disappears, John. Liam's tiny hut is now no longer there.
Oh, what the? Hello.
It's dawn, fellas. You have not been able to look around here in the daylight. You've got your pack wolf Pawson with you. Yeah, I'm going to leave it up to you. What do you guys want to do?
Well, I need to go outside at some point. I need to collect some remains of someone, and I need to get Saber back.
I think it's a good idea.
Collect some remains of someone.
I'm going to hope that who I find is the one that killed him, and I'm going to bring that to the ritual, and I'm going to set up all of my incense and everything I need to complete it. And for 10 minutes, I go to some of the ash. One of the people that I burned. I collect some of that and I use it as part of the ritual. I just say, Saber, I am sorry. I tried my hardest to protect you, but please, if you can, come back to me.
All right, so you're burning this, the ash and the incense and various spices that it takes to do this ritual. So you're going to use a first level spell slot, or are you going to do it as a ritual?
It's a ritual. It's going to take the 10 minutes, yeah.
It's going to take an hour, right? It's an hour.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So you're working on this and chanting. And Filnyr, what are you doing now?
I was actually just looking through my character sheet to see if I have any rations left, and I don't.
Yeah.
So I might send Pawson on a little hunting expedition to see if he can go round up some game, like rabbit or something that we can eat.
Master, I don't I don't smell anything. Which direction should I go?
Your guess is as good as mine. Are there woods nearby? I do. And I'll look. This is pretty flat, aside from
Yeah.
like.
So there's some vegetation that's grown up in this particular part of Robert's Gift. It's definitely a plateau. It is. There are rock outcroppings that you can see. Probably you can see 3/4 of a mile away.
Okay.
There's no trees there, but you can sort of make out there's some rock that goes up into a very small little hill. I would say east of you, you can sort of faintly make it out maybe 2.5 miles away, 3 miles away. I mean, you have incredible vision on the Gift, just sort of straight. There may be trees that way. So a couple of miles, like almost due east. But really, you're in the ruins of an old city, right?
Right.
So there's things that are growing up. There's probably some meat that could be had, around.
Yeah, you know what?
Here.
I guess, Paulson, if there was a death cult here, they must have had some food for the survivors. Do you smell any stores? Even if it's just grains. I don't know if you know what they smell like, but
I smell nothing that's like what you normally eat, but I might. I'll be back.
okay.
So he sort of runs off. He's like making a concentric circle kind of around you. You see him like go into like one of the buildings, and then he kind of goes out, and so he's like off looking around.
I mean, I might look at Abel's backpack and see if he had any rations.
Yeah. So Abel sleeps with his backpack under his head.
Okay.
But he does not have any rations on him.
All right. Well, then Filnyr's gonna, wait for Pawson, put together a fire to cook, assuming we do find something that we can cook. I don't know how cold it is at dawn where we are.
Cold. Yeah, it's not nothing, right? I mean, we're talking probably in the overnight you probably got 30, 40 degrees. Probably not above 50 right now, so it's chilly.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you're doing okay, but it's chilly.
Yeah. So I think I'd build a fire and keep an eye out, see if there's any sign of any other people around.
Mm-hmm.
And if not, maybe go back to the temple now that it's light and see if there's anything that we missed before.
So when you get back in the temple, looks like some of the ashes have been scooped up. There is like a really thin layer of ash on the ground there. Give me a perception check when you are over by where the Euron stone fell to the ground.
All right. So that is a 24 cumulative.
Okay. You can tell that even though there's sort of grass and sod that have grown up all over everything, where the Euron stone fell down when Jessup dropped it when he was killed, and then where it sort of landed next to Abel a little bit later, you can tell that there's depressions there, and you make out possibly wood underneath that area, as though that is sort of the grass has grown up on
over something else.
Yes.
Okay. I might dig it out. Yeah. I'll explore that a little further, investigate it.
Okay. So with your hands, you can get a couple of inches in, and you're scratching the top of wood there.
Mm-hmm.
It feels thick, like it feels almost like beams that you're scratching on there,
like a floor.
Like beams that would be under a floor or under a roof.
So
right?
Like there might be another story underneath.
That's right.
Okay.
Right. That's what you're feeling. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So then I think I would walk around and see if there was like one of those openings that takes you to the basement from outside or from inside, and look for access.
Okay. All right. So give me a perception check also.
Not as good. That one is a 14.
Okay. So there are places around this temple that look like they are extremely well worn with fall. In particular, you see that over where the bakery was, there is a footpath that just sort of ends at a bush.
That's weird.
So like where you can tell that the grass is dead, they've been walking, but then there's like a full on bush that's there unmolested.
Okay.
Just outside of the bakery.
I will walk to the bush. Does it look like the proper type of plant that should be there?
It does. It looks
Okay.
it looks like, it's like if it's like the High Line in New York City. It's like all the natural grass and growth 300 years probably. I mean, this is probably a little bit less than that because this has clearly been burned down 20 years ago, so it's all new here.
Right.
But yeah, it's of the steppe here.
Okay. Yeah, I might look around it and see if there's something more to it to explain the lack of trail beyond it or around it.
All right. So I'm going to leave you there for a second.
Okay.
Hey, John, your mongoose, when you summon him, does he just like appear or does he start to slowly take shape? Like what happens with this?
So the way I envision it, I've got the incense smoke burning, and as the spell goes along, the smoke intensifies, begins to take shape in front of me, and then as it swirls around, it kind of begins to spiral until it turns into a tail and a body that's kind of curled up and then turns into Saber.
And then you have to ask him for forgiveness, right? At that point?
I'm assuming that the ritual is asking forgiveness. Like he returns if he's forgiven me.
Okay. I'm not going to have you roll for that.
Thanks.
I think that you're. Yeah, I think that you. I think you're. He is satisfied with the bones which you have brought him.
Okay.
And the ash. He is there now. And Filnyr is. He made a fire and he kind of left you to it. Pawson, you sort of see him in the distance, and he's up on a rock. He is cleaning himself over there on the rock, and then you see that he is like eating something over on this big boulder.
Okay, I'm going to go over to Saber with some little treats that I haven't. Oh, Saber, thank you. I'm so glad you're back. I'm so sorry. Come here. Let me. And I feed him and I pick him up. I let him on my shoulder. I start petting him, and we have our little moment. I'm gonna walk over to Pawson to see what's going on as I'm walking, multitasking, taking care of a few things, and I'm just going to cast a 3rd level spell, and I'm going to say, Galwinia, this is Ionas and Filnyr. Those who are instrumental in helping me retake Monterre will receive wealth, land, and title. You could be one. Stay.
Magician, it is good to hear your voice. Counting words here. I have not yet decided whether or when I should go. There is quite a setup here in Lake and Hearth. Percy is returning to you tonight. Percy is quite the man.
All right. I definitely nod in agreement to myself, and I make plans to talk to Mr. Percy this evening. And then I walk over to Pawson and see what is it. Pawson.
Yeah.
Morning.
You don't want this.
What do you have? What do you have? What is that? What do you have over there?
It was already mostly dead when I bit it. You see a humanoid foot.
Oh shit!
In its mouth.
Gross.
In its mouth. It's not a human. It's not a human, but it's got like whitish, grayish skin, a large foot, but it looks stockier than a human's.
I walk over. Pawson, what is that? Where did you find that? Where's Filnyr?
Master is there. I can smell him over there. And he sort of like nods toward the bakery. And you can see that he's got blood on his fur around his mouth, and it's definitely the foot of a Durgar. He was up to no good. He ran away. And then I stopped him from running.
Oh dear. Did you see more of them?
No,
Were you
just
did you
just
did you go
this one.
did you go underground? Was he above ground? Usually
No, he was in a. There's some stairs over there.
is he pointing to where Filnyr is?
No, further. Like he's pointing more easterly. There's several buildings that are collapsed or stone walls are there, and he's sort of nodding toward a small outcropping. If you had to guess, that you would. These are probably old mansions, like probably old highborn. The footprint is big, is what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Of these places, and they're aligned in a row that makes you think it's probably a street
Hmm.
that they were on. And you sort of, from this vantage point up on this rock, you get a much better sense of how this city was laid out. Monterre is tight as it goes up this mountain. This city was definitely laid out in concentric circles, and there are small areas that there are no buildings that could be parks, or they could be squares, or they could be, it's hard to know now what they were, but there are large footprints of buildings near those empty spaces. And in the very center, which is where the temple is, there are a number of buildings that are similar in size, but look not like homes. They look probably like commercial or government, that kind of thing.
Okay.
And you see far to the south, maybe half a mile away, dead. No grass, no bushes, no trees. It's a small area that you can see, but it's big enough that you can see it from half a mile away. Just absolutely dead.
That is kind of where Paulson said he was, or
He was nodding at the buildings to the east, the
Okay.
sort of mansion-sized building. You can just see this now that you're up on this stone with him.
okay. All right. Okay. I am going to take note of that. I'm going to go into the building where we slept. I'm going to pick up the monk gloves that I grabbed from the nameless monk, and
Mhm.
I'm gonna walk in Filnyr's direction,
Okay.
and I want to
All right.
take a look at the gloves.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay. That is an 18.
These are definitely gloves that look like they could improve your ability to not be hit by arrows.
By arrows.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Is there
They're very sticky on the
tips
on
or
on the
palm
not just the
side?
tips, like the palm, like all over the palms of them, and you can tell it's suffused with magic.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell exactly how it's suffused with magic. It's not gel or gummy on there, but it's sort of like the suckers that octopi have. They're little bitty. It's
They're
a
not
bit
called
like that.
pseudopods kind of things?
Yeah, it's like pseudopods. Like when it touches things, it sticks to them, but there's not like suction that's doing it. It's something else.
Interesting. Rules as written. If I put gloves on, does that affect my spell casting?
Jonas would not know. These are gloves that you could wear. They don't seem to be cursed, anything like that.
Okay.
They're like incredible goalie gloves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's sort of what they're like. Yeah.
Those are going to look great. I'm going to hold on to those and walk over to Filnyr.
All right. Yeah. So Filnyr is like walking around this bush. He is like checking it. He's touching it. It is not an illusion. It is a real bush. He's not finding what he thinks he's looking for there.
Filnyr,
Yes.
what are you doing? What's happening?
Well, I decided to have a look around the temple, and it seems that there may be a basement under the space where the monk's initiation was to be, and I'm looking for a way in. I came upon this path that stopped at this bush and did not see tracks further, so I thought there might be something hidden here. However, as of yet, I've found nothing. but there may be a way to get down to the basement from elsewhere, or if need be, I could make an axe and try to cut our way in.
Can I make an investigation check?
Yeah, sure.
Natural 1. Son of a bitch.
Being consistent. Being consistent.
Can I help him?
You can help him.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's right. Advantage. That's what we want.
Yeah.
See, look here, Ionas. Look at this leaf.
That's a 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10
Makes
total.
it a 10.
Oh my god. You have +8 on investigation. You got a 9 and a 10. This is
Bad.
consistent. So Ionas is not going to help you out here, Tim, but you can try an investigation check yourself here. I mean, you know something's up with this bush.
Yeah, I mean, with my +0, we'll see what happens. All right, here we go.
Good Lord.
4.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm just not smart enough to put it together. I can't see what it is about it. So,
Listen, Filnyr. Paulson was chewing on a Duergar foot.
What? I'm not going to eat a Durga foot.
He was eating something, and it was a Duergar foot, and the blood looked fresh. I believe there are Duergar about.
Did he say where?
He did. It's in another direction. I wanted to tell you where that was. Maybe we can call him here, and he can try to sniff this out if you want to check out something else. It seems that we are not alone here.
Perhaps we should not be so loud then. Perhaps we should go to Paulson.
Before we do that, come here a moment. And I'm going to...
There's no one else here. Do you need me to come closer?
Just in case. I'm going to put my hand on his forehead, and I'm going to concentrate. And it's going to be very awkward because it's going to take 10 minutes. But I'm going to cast Rary's telepathic bond on the two of us.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You don't want to get Pawson involved in this?
That probably would have been a good idea.
Just Abel while he's sleeping. We can hear.
I could do...
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
I can do...
You can get 8 people.
I can do
right?
up to 8 people. So
8 creatures, right?
I think if I do, if we go over to Paulson, I'd like to cast it on myself, Filnyr, Paulson, and Saber.
Okay. It's gonna be a trip when these guys are trying to when Tim gets to talk to Saber directly. It's gonna be awesome.
Is the forehead thing just your flourish on it, like your color?
It's just my flourish.
Oh, okay. I was like, because it's like touch. You're not an octopus. You can't touch 8 things.
No.
Yeah,
no,
right, right.
I was going to try it for the first time to see if it worked on just Filnyr, but now that I have everybody, I'm just going to just sit and concentrate with my. They just have to be close by.
Filnyr, you guys are walking back toward Pawson, right? Give me a Dex saving throw. Yeah, Dex saving throw for Filnyr.
Okay. That is a cumulative 10.
All right, so Ionas, you were walking with Filnyr, and you guys are, you start to cast Rary's telepathic bond, and then you're wait, let's get Paulson and the other one involved in this, and Filnyr's sort of agreeing with you and walking, and he's like looking up at you, and he just like falls flat on his face, and he is tripped on these 4 stones just on the side of this trail that you guys are walking on. And oddly enough, each stone has a letter in Undercommon on it. Now, Undercommon is Elven script, so obviously anyone who speaks and reads Elvish, which I think both of you do.
Yeah.
Right? You can read the letters.
It's Elvish script, it's not runes?
It's Elvish script, yeah.
Okay.
And it is the letters T and R and I and P.
Okay. I don't need to know what that spells. I just lived it.
and as Filnyr gets up and you guys are like, wait, what? You see one of the stones kind of moves over a little bit, and then it moves a little bit more.
What sorcery is this?
Filnyr, what did this stone really just move in front of you and trip you?
Clearly, I was not looking where I was stepping.
It's the eye stone, which is moving, by the way.
The eye stone's moving.
But it seems that way.
Am I able to pick it up?
No.
Is it too heavy, too big, or just magically held in place?
Tell me how you're going to try to pick it up, John. And what's your strength?
My strength is 7. I'm going to take...
Okay.
I'm going to put a sticky glove in my hand. Oh, I'm going to put on a sticky glove.
Okay.
And I'm going to reach down for it.
You don't feel the sticky glove doing anything really for you. You're probably going to need to spend an hour or so with those gloves to make them like really work for you. It's weird. It feels almost like it's the tip of a much longer, larger stone.
And yet it's still moving.
It's moving.
Whoa, Filnyr, there's more to this. We're not seeing everything. There's something underground.
Yes, it seems that perhaps I am wrong, because it seemed to have spelled what it did. Can we manipulate these to make some other word? Perhaps, can I pick up the P?
When you reach down at the P and you go to pick it up, you get it off the ground, but just a little bit off the ground. It gets heavier and heavier the higher you get it. You get it 5 or 6 inches, and you would need to be like Abel level strength to get it any higher than that. And it sort of like springs back down when you.
So it's like a. Got it. So it's kind of. It seems. Is it magnetic?
It feels kind of magnetic. Although,
except the resistance grows when you move away.
The resistance grows as you get further away. Yeah.
Got it. Ionas, can we try to arrange these letters and spell pit and see if it will open a hole in the ground? Can you push the T and I'll move the P, but the I is moving. I don't know how we do this.
Do you think your wolf could help?
Pawson, come here.
He's a little too far. You can call out to him, and you can.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Oh, and he comes running.
First of all, did you find any food? I mean, for us, not for you.
Pawson food, yes. People food, no. The rest of the Durgar is there. And he sort of like, with his nose, he sort of points in a direction.
I need your help for something else. I don't know if you've learned to read, but I need you to help us rearrange these stones. We want to take the one that's on the bottom here and put it on the top, and the one that's on the top goes underneath of the one that's moving. The fourth one can just lay still. But there are only 2 of us. They are hard to move. We might need your strength.
What if I chip a tooth?
Well, you can be careful, can't you?
Yeah. He sort of like nudges it. He's super strong.
Right.
Gets on it. He picks it up and he's asking you like where to put it.
Which one does he have?
He has P.
He has the P. No, put that. Just put that down. You know what we should do? We should make a little hole and move the T into it, and then move the I on top of it, and then put the P on top.
Okay.
So if we make like an impression so that it can't move as far,
Okay. As you start to dig to make an impression, it's wood here, just like the other place was. And you kind of make out the sound of metal moving against metal just directly below you.
Like somehow with the stones.
With the stones, yeah.
So if I move a stone, you hear like something moving on the other
You
side
hear
of the
something
wood.
moving. Yep.
Okay, well, I think my theory was wrong. I don't think this is magical. It seems somehow, well, perhaps magical, but not in the spelling. Seems to be some sort of magical mechanism. How far down was the dirt?
Here, not deep. Like
I'm sorry,
half
how
an
far
inch.
down? How much dirt? Yeah, on top of the wood is what I mean.
Yeah, like half an inch of dirt over this sort of boardwalk type situation.
And does it seem more like flooring or like, like a boardwalk, like you said, than just like beams, like
This is like a boardwalk. This is like it feels more hollow than the other one. If you dig a little bit more, you might get a sense of how wide the boards are here.
Right.
I'm guessing you have a couple of inches uncovered, and there's not an edge of a board at a couple of inches.
Ionas, we should be prepared to potentially fight something if we are to disturb the ground here.
So you're saying I should cast mage armor?
Yes.
Yes, that's what I was leaning toward.
I cast mage armor.
Okay.
And
your AC doth go up.
And then I think, Pawson, can you help me dig some of this dirt so we can investigate this construction a bit more?
Yes. And he
just doggy digs.
He doggy digs around, and you see that some of the wood is rotten in a couple of places. It looks like, these boards are wide. Like they definitely came from larger trees, probably like a foot and a half, 18 inches wide each one. But you do see that there's an inch or two between the boards in a few places as you're digging, and it's dark between the boards. But you hear, as you dig, you hear dirt dropping down, and you hear it hitting something, the floor down below.
Well, there's clearly something under here, Ionas. How far we choose to investigate is another question, because Abel is helpless, sleeping.
Well,
and if there's sign of Durgers, that may be what is underneath.
I would definitely like to clear out any danger, if there is some. Perhaps we investigate and leave Pawson to stand guard.
Sure. I suppose we should see how far this runs, or if... Pawson, did you find anywhere that looked like a way down?
Yeah, over here. Just look over here. I smell dust. And I smell old. I don't smell people. I don't smell dead.
You smell more Durga.
No, it's nothing. It's like a cave that hasn't been used in a very long time. And he's got his claw. He's like been clawing at part of the wood that's rotten.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably got a small hole between two boards that's maybe an inch and a half or 2 inches wide. It's enough that you could stick a finger in or two fingers in and sort of feel around. I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm saying like you could put a finger in.
And there's light coming down now that we've cleared some of the dirt away, right? So there's probably a bit of light getting filtered down from above.
You can't see anything down in there. You can sort of make out what you think is probably the edge of the board. So in other words, like how deep down this board goes. It's probably only about 3 inches. Like it's a big board, but it's not endless, right? I mean, it's still a piece of wood that is basically a boardwalk.
Is there anything fastening it down that we can see? Like top of nails or anything?
You could see some nails. Yeah, definitely nails. Definitely dwarven build nails. So in other words, like those nails, they have like they have a small square that they sort of put iron into, almost like a pasta maker, and they just hit very hot iron into these small square holes until they make a nail. And that's, I mean, you've seen this, Filnyr's seen this 100 times. Dwarves make incredibly useful but very utilitarian nails, and that's what these are.
Okay. I guess I would ask how flush they are to the wood. Like, is it something we could pry up?
What do you have that you can pry with?
Well,
A
I have
winter
a
wolf.
dagger. I have my sword. I have a crowbar in my
Hey.
pack.
Hey,
So there we go.
crowbar will do it for sure.
And I have a hammer.
So let's do a strength-based sleight of hand. So in other words, if you have proficiency in sleight of hand,
I do not.
you can add it to your strength check.
Right.
You do not.
So okay. So it'll be
All right, strength check.
natural 1.
Oh man, we are doing it tonight.
Yeah.
It's another. We're gonna skip this one too, Tom. We're going back to bed.
If you want to keep doing this, I'll give you about I'll give you a new check every like 5 minutes to be working on these nails.
Well, Filnyr, can you just get the board up enough for Saber to maybe Saber could crawl in, or maybe if I could see more, I could teleport him down and he could tell us what's going on.
I mean, I could make an axe and cut our way through, but I'm not sure if something under there can hear. That will be quite loud.
Can I see? I can't see anything down there, Tom.
Let's see. You don't have like the light cantrip or
I don't.
anything like that.
Can you make light with any of your other cantrips?
I could catch something on fire. I can make fire with prestidigitation.
Okay. Yeah, I mean you could set something small on fire and drop it in there, I guess. Maybe it'll make it down, maybe not. It'd be like a match, falling through the cracks.
So yeah, maybe I'll rip off a corner of parchment or something and light it up and let it fall down. See if we can see anything.
Okay. Yeah. So it falls down through, and it stops falling at about 9 feet down below.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment before the fire flickers out that you can see the ground is very fancy masonry. You can't tell what the actual stone is down there, but it was clearly put in not by the Breen artisans, right? Like this is something that you maybe could see in Monterre, but it's like polished stone, and then the fire flickers out.
Perhaps we need to look for a way down. Pawson, are you sure you did not see stairs anywhere?
I saw stairs. I saw stairs over where the Durgar was.
Show me.
Okay. You sort of make your way over to these buildings. These are the mansion type buildings, and
while we're doing that, can the raries come off?
Yeah, you can get that off.
Right.
Yeah. And as you sort of enter into the middle mansion. I mean, I say a mansion. It's like that's just like 5 to 6 foot high stone walls at this point. But you can see that one of them had stairs leading up to a landing that clearly was like an area that a front door was once, and it's still sort of framed out at the corners, but with stone where the door was. And this door was about 9 feet wide. Like this was a fancy, large door. But you can walk right past like where those stairs used to be going up to into the building, and you walk around through, and you're inside. It's sort of like the temple there, but then there's some stone stairs leading directly down from the ground level into like a small basement area. And there's a slumped on his front is the dead Durgar. And I mean, he's actually still breathing. He's not dead. He's still breathing, but he has been just like destroyed by Pawson. So he's missing a leg. His arm has been eaten through. And you can see his chest and his back moving up and down.
Paulson, seriously, what did he ever do to you?
He ran from me. People who run are usually trying to hide something or trying to hurt me.
Which way did he run?
To the stairs.
That would make me think that he was running for help. perhaps to hide, but more likely for help. And you saw no signs of others, no smells of others.
No, I can't smell much here.
How far is the door from the slumped over Durga?
You mean the door to the once a door, or you mean down the stairs?
Is there? I thought there was a door down the stairs too.
There's not a door down the stairs. No.
Oh.
No. You just the door was like where it was framed out, where the house once was. That you can tell where the door was there, where there was an entry door, and the entry door was giant.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna send Saber on in front of us.
Okay. All right,
And
you're gonna look through his eyes.
I'm gonna look through his eyes.
Well, use his senses. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's pitch black as soon as he gets down the stairs, and it sort of turns to the right and enters into a space that he can only kind of hear in. He cannot see anything down here.
He's definitely got he's got advantage on hearing and smell.
He doesn't smell anything. Give me a perception on his hearing.
He can also it's uncanny, but he can sense snakes wherever. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay. All right. That's actually going to be really useful.
Okay. So perception for Saber. Man, that's a... Oh, but I get advantage, right?
Yeah, you get advantage.
All right,
Advantage.
so 12 first. 22.
So he hears clicking in the distance, and then you're perceiving through it, right? He can hear the metal that was underneath the tripstones. He can hear it fairly clearly, kind of far away from where he is in the dark down here.
Okay. All right. I'm going to hear that, and I'm going to just teleport him back to us. And then I'm going to take another 10 minutes and start casting Unseen Servant.
Okay. All right. Filnyr, what do you want to do while he's casting Unseen Servant?
I assume he's going to tell me what he's doing before he does it, so I know it's going to take the 10, 11, whatever minutes to.
I'll just say we can walk forward, but I'm going to begin casting a spell so that we can have a little bit of help. I'm going to look around. Can I find sticks and cloths?
I have a torch.
Oh, you have a torch?
Yeah, Filnyr.
You hold up. Do you have a torch, Filnyr?
Yes, I can go light it from the campfire I made earlier and
just
be
pull it
right
out.
back. Or
pull it out.
Okay, so I hold it out.
It lights on fire.
Okay. All right. So you guys gonna head down?
I think as far as the bottom of the steps.
Okay.
Wait, the Durgar is at the bottom of the steps?
He's at the top.
The top of the steps.
Yeah.
Does anyone here speak Undercommon? I don't.
He's unconscious too. He's breathing but unconscious.
Paulson, put him out of his misery, would you?
With pleasure. And Paulson goes try to move the guy's head a little bit, and he sort of licks his eyes open, and so the guy, it's like his eyes are open, and Paulson gets right in front of him and then starts to kind of move back and forth like he's dancing a little bit, and he spins around and he says, "He still looks pretty miserable, doesn't he?" And he walks over and bites the guy's neck and ends his life.
What the fuck?
He was trying to make him happy by dancing in front of him.
This wolf is so stupid.
What on earth? Come on now.
All right, so you're gonna go down?
Yeah, to the bottom of the steps and just peek from there.
All right, so down here there is the room is about 10 by 10. That's down at the base of the stairs, and there's a table set up. There's a small stone that's on the table that has a perfectly round indentation where it looks like the Huron stone may have been sitting at some point. 3 backpacks down here in this room. There is a door right next to that table.
Is it open or closed?
It's closed. Doesn't look like there's a lock on it. It's got one of these bars that you sort of lift up off of hooks. So it's actually like on your side, barred.
Got it. It's
shut.
barred from on our side. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's no signs of any other people, right? And that's the
No.
only other way in. So it's basically the stairs and that door.
Yeah.
Ionas, there are 3 backpacks down here and a door that is barred on our side. I'm going to have a look through these backpacks, see if I can figure out who they belong to or if there's anything of use in them. They're probably the monks. It looks like the Euron stone was stored down here.
As you go down to look at them, you hear in your mind, all right, if there might be people here, maybe we should communicate this way. Don't freak out if this is just the spell that I was casting. And I'll say, do you want, should we send Pawson back to guard Abel?
Yes, Pawson. Can Pawson hear me?
Yes, I've cast it on him as well.
But he's actually speaking out loud. Yes, I hear you. Hello. Yes.
Pawson.
Pawson.
What?
Pawson.
What?
Try thinking it to us. Try projecting in your head.
And then you hear, Master. But then you also hear in your head, Master, can you hear me here now?
Yes, I can hear you.
You can hear me.
Can you hear me?
Master, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
This is very interesting.
Thank our wizard friend. He can hear you as well.
Wizard friend? Wizard friend?
Yes, yes. Here I am. It's me.
This is more impressive than the mountain.
How funny would it be if we had to do different voices for our mental communication?
Yeah, totally could.
Yes,
Like it's how
yes,
you,
this
yeah.
is
Yeah.
Ionas.
Well, you'd project how you feel about, like, how you actually like believe yourself to be, right? It would be like your id.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
funny.
yes, this is Ionas.
that's it.
Ionas
That's
Silhavin. Yes.
Jonas's interior mind voice. That's it.
Pawson, please head back and guard Abel.
I can do it. And then he just like turns around and runs up. And as he's going, he says, "Do I sound as funny to you as you sound to me?"
I don't know what you're on about, but just tell us this way if you see anything. I don't know how far away you can be, but it seems like it will work better than voices.
Oh, it will work better than voices.
So, like literally every like 3 seconds, he says, "Can you still hear me? Can you
Yes.
still hear me?
Yes.
Can you still hear me?" Guys, I'm looking at Abel right now. He's still asleep.
Good, just guard him.
He's here. Guys, I'm here.
And there goes another hour of the episode.
Should have never done this.
Okay, so inside the backpacks, you find you do find some rations. You also find hand bindings that are made out of leather. So they're sort of like wrap around for very, very common in Hark City. The kind of boxing that they do there requires leather bindings like wrapped around one's fists, and you only score points when you hit someone with your leather bindings. And there's a bedroll and another one, and then the third one has very large clothes in it, and not a whole lot else. There's one of the Snowflower prayer books in there as well.
Okay, I'm gonna take the prayer book, and I guess would Filnyr know what the leather bindings were?
I think he would. I mean, it's common. Hark boxing is common enough everywhere. I mean, it's sort of like MMA in the late '90s, where people had heard of it. They didn't necessarily have seen a match, but
right.
But you know what it is.
You're going to feel a tap on your shoulder, Filnyr.
What? Who's that?
There's going to be nothing there, but something is going to try and take the torch out of your hand.
Ionas, did you finish.
Sorry.
doing
Yes,
what you would-
this is my unseen. I was just going to hold the torch for you while you looked
Oh,
around.
thank you. And I'll put my sword back in my hand instead of the torch. I'm curious what lies behind this door, but I do not wish to expose us to any more danger while we are a man short.
Well, I can have Saber take a look. Is it pretty? It's black, of course, beyond the door, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah.
The bars are they?
It's wood.
It's like a piece of wood that goes across it.
Yep.
Right, like so that if somebody tried to hit it, it would be blocked. It couldn't, or pull it, it couldn't open. Right.
Yeah, it's about the wood itself is about 6 foot long, maybe 3 inches by 1.5 inches. It's like if you took a running start at the door from the other side, you could probably bust it open. It's not doing a whole lot of work, but it definitely
It's like a lock.
It's
Right.
like a lock. It's perfect. It was purposely put there for sure.
But it can be moved by mage hand or by.
It's it's probably about 15, 20 pounds, the piece of wood. So no, mage hand
Not
couldn't
mage
lift
hand,
it.
but maybe
but you
Filnyr
could
and I
lift
together.
it.
I could probably lift it.
Yeah, you could lift it by yourself. A 7 strength.
My strength
is
is
weak.
not a 7, John.
Yeah.
You were looking at
Filnyr
books.
could
I
do
was
it.
just going to look at the door while you looked at books.
Okay.
And can I see past the door?
You cannot see past.
Like there's
the door.
not like a little window or porthole. Or
There's
something.
no light coming from the other side. No, I mean it's not a tight fit. It's still a medieval door. It's not tight fitting.
Yeah.
So you could probably get your fingers up underneath the door. For instance, you could put your hand halfway through there and get your fingers to the other side if you want to put your hand in there and put your fingers in there.
I don't want to do that.
You want to put your fingers in there?
He's already lost one finger.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, no, mostly I was just trying to see if Saber could get through to the other side, or
I mean, you could do your thing where if you accidentally bamf him in where there's a glass jar, with like a lich's phylactery or something like that. If you accidentally put him in on something like that, like he would take some damage, but chances are right on the other side of the door is probably fine.
yeah, I just got him back too. That's what sucks. Saber's gonna go to the door and he's gonna sniff underneath because I'm sure his nose could
perception.
he could get a lot of the air coming
Perception.
from the other side.
Are you going to be sensing through him?
Yeah, but I guess it's still his perception, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then it's advantage, so I'll try it again just in case. 15.
As you smell under the door, it smells like a library.
Filnyr.
It smells like old paper that has started to mold. That's what it smells like.
Filnyr, get this lock. Get this lock off.
Are you sure?
Smells like a library, Filnyr. I'd love
All
to.
right, I will be ready. We don't know what's on the other side.
How about
right,
this? You move the lock, and then we can back up, and I'll mage hand the door.
Very well. I'll pull the bar off the thing, set it to the side, sword and board out, ready to go.
Okay.
All right, and we back up, and I mage hand the door open.
All right. Still dark in there.
The unseen servant goes in with the torch.
All right. So it illuminates this. It's like a catacomb down here. There's no water. So, but it's sort of, it's these arches that go and form the basement underneath the temple. And you can see that it goes beyond the torch, right? The torch light is illuminating 20 or 30 feet past the unseen servant. And it does just keep going. And there are 5 foot high shelves that line the bottom, half of these arches all the way into the distance. And you can make out that each one of them is full of 20 to 30 books.
Wow. Can I just take a look? I'll just walk in and just start looking at some of the books. Do they look?
And how? Sorry, what did you say the measurements of the room were? Like how many shelves? What are the walls?
So
I'm going to walk in assessing for threats, and
Yeah,
so just
okay.
sort of seeing
So-
like what area I got to cover.
So each arch is the base kind of comes up almost straight, and then it arches up, and it's about 9 to 10 feet high in the middle,
Okay.
and they're about 25 feet across from arch to arch, and it's just like ribs going down this room, and there's 2 ribs forming this long hallway that just
Okay.
goes straight in the distance into darkness.
Okay, so it's just a hallway. So it's what, like 10 feet wide?
25 feet wide.
25 feet wide, and then just onward into darkness.
Onward into darkness.
Okay, and no other doors or anything like that we can see?
Not from the torchlight. You have dark vision?
I do not have dark vision.
Okay.
So Saber is also connected telepathically.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna send him stealthily down to talk to us and send us back. I'm gonna look at the books with the torch.
Does he speak?
We can communicate through Raries. We have a connection. We can communicate.
Okay.
And he can go beyond the 100 feet and still, I guess, send images back to me. I'm not sure how it works.
Oh yeah, whether or
honestly.
not
Yeah,
they have a common language. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so he keeps going. He exceeds the 100 feet, John, and he is still sending back pings as often as you want them. And you do hear Pawson say, "Can you still hear me?"
Yes. Shh.
Yeah.
Yes, Paulson.
I hear everything you are all saying. I hear everything. It sounds amazing. I would really like to be down there with you.
You're doing the good work, Pawson. Please, just guard him, please.
The book in your hand, John, it's written in Elvish, and it just says Moonbrook 79 /120.
Okay.
And the first page, it just says the reign of the Wodmar family.
Okay. So I'll just kind of flip through it a little bit. Do I?
Yeah. It looks like a history. You have no way of knowing what the year 79 refers to or what the year 120 refers to. It's very clearly about a royal family of Moonbrook elves. A lot of it is about how they harvested Ladybone.
Okay. I'm going to put that in my pack and keep looking, and I'm going to search specifically for spell books or spell scrolls.
Okay. All right. So I'll give you let's see. You can probably get through about 20 feet of shelves, and I'll give you 2 perception or investigation is better for you, right?
Yeah, investigation's better. In theory.
Okay. So give me two investigation checks, and this will be for the first 20 feet of books.
Okay. It's a 15 and cumulative 23.
Okay. So Filnyr, what are you doing while he's looking through books?
Do I hear the metal?
You can hear it clicking in the distance, yes.
And how far away? Does it sound like it's super far away, or how far were the stairs from like those rocks?
If the hallway goes all the way there, it's about 350 feet away.
Okay. And how much further? So we're under the temple now? Or
You're
are
not.
we ways away
There's
from
no
that too?
way you're under the temple yet. No.
Okay. So does the hallway lead in that direction, it seems like, though?
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
It's straight from here to the bakery. At least the direction that you can see right now.
Right. Yeah, I'll pull out another torch, and light it off of the invisible servant, and try to just walk farther down and see if this is all books or see if there's a change. And I think I'd walk slowly and, with eyes, head on a swivel, for signs of anything that looks like it would be moving. Obviously, with the torch, there's a lot of things that will sort of flicker.
Yep.
But, if I see any doors or, any creatures or anything like that.
Well, and real quick, if we're all bonded, Saber can talk to Filnyr too.
Yeah, that's right. He can talk
Yeah.
to all of you can talk to each other. Yeah.
Okay, so basically I can just follow Saber to know what's,
Yeah.
at least. But he was in the dark.
He's in the dark.
He was in the dark, but he can tell you what he hears and what he smells.
Yeah. So he does not. So he's reporting back. He doesn't hear or smell any creatures. Smell is real similar. All the way there. After about 100 feet, Tim, the floor changes. So in the initial hallway, it was sort of cobbled stone in the library area, and then there's no more shelves now. The arches are still identical, but at some point, the floor changes into sort of polished. It's really hard to tell. It seems to have a pink hue on it, and but it's not marble, and it's definitely it's hard, but almost like
Does
almost
it look
like
like it?
amber.
Okay.
Like
So it looks kind of like it might be glass.
it could be glass, it could be ladybone.
Okay. That's what I was going to ask.
No way you've ever seen any like monolithic ladybone like this, and certainly would never be put on the floor anywhere you've ever seen.
Right. Okay. I'm just imagining the torchlight playing through the floor as you walk. If it's, translucent,
It's translucent.
looks super cool.
It's really cool. You can't see like anything below it, but the way the torchlight is dancing on it, it definitely doesn't look like it's like on dirt.
Right. Okay. And is there like a layer of dust or anything on it that I could see where I might see footprints or anything?
Where you are, no.
Okay.
There's just very little. Like it was sealed off pretty well here from other things. There are some spider webs and things like that here.
Yeah.
If you keep walking, you're getting very close to where you knocked the dirt in. And
right. So maybe a streak of light coming down.
Yeah. And the clicking is getting loud over here.
Yeah. Ionas, I'm very curious about this mechanism for the stones, and I think I've come near it. Are you still looking at books, or can you come down?
Yes, sure. I'm on my way.
John, you with those perception checks, you found one book of magic. It's not a magical book. It's a book of magic. It's about magic.
Okay.
Just flipping through it, you definitely think with enough study, you might be able to make out a couple of things that these Moonbrook elves could cast.
Ooh, cool.
With enough study of that, you might possibly be able to learn, a spell here or a spell there from it. But it's going to require a lot of time, like more than like a scroll. There's not a scroll. It's definitely like someone who was not a caster has written this book about someone who was a caster.
Okay. Understood.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
That will take some study, but you will probably be able to learn something from this one.
Okay. Very interesting. And just the one book, or were there two things?
So you are positive that you did not see anything else like that you were looking for.
Okay. I will take the two books, the Moonbrook 79120 and the Book of Magic, and I will head to Filnyr.
Okay. All right. You also notice the floor change, and it is it's magical the way the floor sort of glimmers in the torchlight. When you guys are near enough each other and you get where that clicking is, you see it's like a metronome, but giant. It's like so it's got 4 separate hands that are moving back and forth. The stones were certainly not moving this much, and you sort of can look up at the ceiling where the wood walkway is, and you can tell that the arms of this metronome have been bent, and they do not look like they should have been bent, but they've been bent in a way that they can still move and not scrape the wood above them. So almost like this thing was down here, and later on someone built that wood up above it, and it wasn't high enough to contain this thing. Like 4 or 5 feet too low.
So that thing is swinging kind of like a clock on a wall back and forth, but then the top of it is bent down so that it clears that ceiling wood. Okay.
That's right. That's right.
And do I get a magical sense from the metronome?
I will let you both choose how you investigate this thing. You're looking for magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna run an Arcana check on it. My rolls are looking a little bit better. So that's a 17 cumulative.
All right, so you walk around this thing, and you, when you get around the back, there is a circle on it, and it is tiny, and it has runes all over it, and the runes are put around the circle in the way that a teleportation circle usually has, but it's much too small, and you don't get any magic off of this thing, but you recognize that it is definitely like an exact replica of a teleportation circle. And written on the bottom of, like, below that map, the circle is there are 3 small stones that are moving a little bit as the hands click, and the letters are ODG.
Okay, and all of this looks like it is connected to the ground, or is this something that I can pick up?
So, well, none of that's all on the
mechanism,
on the machine, on the mechanism. Yeah, and the mechanism is probably 3,000 pounds. I mean, it is
sure.
It's huge.
Yeah. Okay. Can I move anything? Any of the letters?
Yes, the letters move freely. They are magnetized on there. You cannot pick them off, but you can move them around.
Can I put the G in the front?
Yes.
I'm going to do that.
Okay. So when you do that, a blue light illuminates the entire Ladybone floor. So you're now standing in this hallway that is completely lit up. It's brighter than your torchlight, and you can see way in the distance in either direction. You can see the library fairly clearly now, even though the stone sort of like stops glowing there. It's like 60 feet down that way. All the way around the mechanism is a giant teleportation circle, which you are now standing in.
Oh my gosh.
It's under the Ladybone.
Yeah,
but you are there.
Filnyr, do you see this?
When you say giant, how, like, scale
15
to a
foot
normal
radius, 20 foot
Okay.
radius. Yeah.
Wow.
And so it looks like it's under the floor.
It looks like it's under the floor. Yes.
What did you do, Ionas?
There's a piece of the mechanism here in the back. It looks like a teleportation circle, and I was just... It's got letters on it, just like the stones up top, and I just started fiddling with it, and I spelled the word God. And
Do you know where this leads? Are there any clues to that on the?
Would you like to have a look at this circle? There are runes on it. I'm not
Sure,
I'm
I'll
not
come
sure.
back. I'll come look at this. Is there? I mean, I don't know if either one of us knows how to read the runes in terms of
They're
navigating
Elvish.
it.
They're in Elvish, yeah.
Sure. So I mean, I can read Elvish, but I still don't know if I know what that means magically speaking in terms of teleportation circles. But I would like to look at it. Let me know what check you want. If that's
Okay. So I'm going to give you a perception. Is that better than investigation for you?
for me, yes.
Yeah. Do a perception check on this. And
18.
awesome. So tell me specifically what you were looking at and what you were hoping to learn from it.
I mean, my instinct is to see if I can determine where this portal leads, if that's written on the runes. I don't know if I would know exactly if that's how these things work. I think I would, based on having seen it been made in front of my eyes and that kind of stuff. But you tell me if I'm misremembering as a player.
Yeah, so this is not like a normal teleportation circle. As you sort of look at this thing and you look at the runes and you look at the teleportation circle that is drawn on the mechanism, you do make out runes starting at about 9 o'clock, if this was a clock, right?
Okay.
Going from there around, it spells TRIPGOD, and the D is back around at like 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 o'clock on this thing. So those
so that
runes
goes
are there.
all the way around.
It goes all the way around. Yeah. And this may be for both of you. You both feel like you've seen this before.
Do we know where?
Recent.
Filnyr, does this look anything like the scroll we found from the Gith?
I'll pull the scroll out. I think so.
All right. So you looking at the
Yes.
scroll.
I'm looking at the scroll, and the fourth line down has that same arrangement of letters.
Okay. So that's interesting.
It is interesting. Are the letters changeable? We can drag them around, you said, right? Or is that a different set of letters?
So below the circle,
Right.
there are just 3 little like magnetic blocks that Ionas has moved the G in front. It was ODG, and he just moved the G around to the front to make it GOD.
Okay.
And you know that up top, those pieces were lined up as TRIP.
Right. Got it. But those are the letters that we have.
Yeah. So as you sort of hold this scroll and you're looking at it, both of you give me a man. I want a check that would be appropriate for recognizing something on the paper itself. What would be that?
A history check?
History check was good. Yeah, let's do a history check, because that would be like paper making, maybe things like that.
Okay. Yeah. Let me see. I got a 10.
And I got a 10.
10.
But you have a plus 8.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's terrible. Man.
Let's add them together.
Oh my gosh, man.
I think you both feel like this is important, and so you might spend a little extra time like going
Racking
through
our
and
brains.
looking.
I'm going to
So
roll
I'll let you
acrobatics
roll.
check. Mental acrobatics.
I'll let you roll an acrobatics check with your intelligence if you would like.
I'm gonna roll I'm just gonna roll investigation this time.
All right.
But that's a 21.
Okay. So you know how there are like inked over circles over some of these letters. Like someone has written deeply on some of these letters, and you see what those letters are, right?
Yes.
So what are those letters again?
C
S-E-A.
foam.
Yeah.
Yeah. SEAFOAM.
So you see that like someone has like written those deeply over it, and the ink from that is newer. But as you look closer, you see that like fingernails have traced along the letters over time of certain other letters. Most of the letters actually have like marks of fingernails, and this is a
Like
vellum.
somebody trying to trace things.
Yes. Or or something, but someone has like dug in with their finger on these letters.
I think Filnyr's going to spend a few minutes looking at this. I mean, as a player, I think I've figured out what this is. I don't know that we've taken the time in the show to have Filnyr actually sit down and take the time to think about what it is. So I think he might start running his hand over the vellum, kind of following some of these, let's say it takes a few minutes. And Ionas, look here. Do you see? I don't know if I say it if something happens, but the GRIGGLY can be made by tracing letters in the same way that seafoam is put out. Do you think that he might have something to do with this? He certainly is a source of magic in this valley.
Oh no. Filnyr, I see it. What do we just say the name Griggly? Maybe not.
I don't see a way to change these letters here aside from the stones we could try to move up above, but they do not match.
Do we see any letters anywhere else, Tom?
I mean, not inside. You're underneath the temple now. No.
In the teleportation circle in the floor, there are no runes or.
Yeah, I mean, it's if you walk around the edge of the teleportation circle, the runes that are around it are the same runes that are around it on the small picture of it.
But
so they match.
It's just the TRIPGOD.
Yep, that's right.
So is there any sign of anybody having looks like that things have been moved at all aside from the ODG?
On the circle itself, no.
Okay.
On the mechanism, that's the only letters there. That's it.
Right.
I mean,
GOD.
Yeah.
Can the small teleportation circle be turned?
No. It's
stationary.
It on closer inspection, it is actually inlaid Ladybone on a piece of super old cedar. So like it's actually the base of the machine is wood. But there's inlaid Ladybone in there on it.
And how are the letters on the rocks again? Were they painted?
No, they on the ones on the machine.
No, the ones that actually tripped me.
Carved.
So okay.
But they weren't carved in. The rock was carved away so that if you if you put ink on top of it, it would leave the impression of those letters almost like stamps. So it's
like embossed or etched or something in there.
It's the letters stand up from the
okay.
stone.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. So they're raised.
Yeah, I mean it's been carved, but it was carved out, not
right. They
carved
carved
in.
Yeah, they left the letters, carved everything around.
Yeah, that's right.
And then with this floor lit up, do I see an end to the room? Do I see?
It seems roughly like exactly underneath the temple.
Okay.
There's a little bit extra on every side, so maybe like 20 or 30 feet, like beyond the temple walls and around. You do not see stairs anywhere where you are.
Right.
The light sort of dies away 60 or so feet ahead.
Can I see approximately, if I could recalculate where that bush was in my head?
You can't see that, but where that is,
I'll walk over.
Yeah.
I'll walk over there.
Okay.
If I can, retrace based on having gone from the bush to where I tripped.
Yeah. You have your torch with you, yeah?
Yeah, I still have the torch.
You get back into a hallway that is much like the hallway you came in from.
Okay.
It gets narrower and narrower and narrower. It's about 10 feet wide at this point, and then it goes down to about 3 feet wide, and it ends in a wall that has a ladder that has been carved from Ladybone again.
Okay.
And so but it's flush against a wall, so there's just like little handholds.
Yeah.
And you see that there is a hatch that is barred from inside, straight above that ladder. And that's about where the bush was.
I'll tell Jonas through the raries. I think I found what was suspicious about that bush. There's an opening, but it's closed from underneath here. But it opens, so you could presumably come up. That's probably, if I had to guess, how they moved the Euron stone without being seen. I imagine we should try to turn this off. Can you undo what you have done? I've not been able to piece together what we might do. It would be prudent to talk to Abel about this.
You're probably right. Before I do that, I want to go back. I haven't really looked at the front of the metronome.
Okay.
And the floor is lit up. It's definitely something that I can see a lot more of now. More resplendent, whatever. I'm gonna do an investigation check and that's that's a 4.
That's okay.
For a 12.
4 or 12. Okay. Give me a D20. Raw luck above a 10 is good.
17.
Here's the last clue I'm going to give you. Fingernails have traced the letters on your scroll.
Okay.
I got it.
Filnyr. do you still have the scroll?
Yes. Now, when I walk back, am I walking? Do I have to walk over the teleportation circle, or was I walking around?
Yeah, you have to walk through. There's no. I mean, you could edge along the side of it.
Well, right, but I've already
awkwardly.
walked one way, so I was just thinking, did I walk across it basically already?
Yeah.
And nothing happened, obviously. So I'll come back and I'll pull the scroll back out.
Can you use your fingernails? Try tracing the letters with your fingernails, Filnyr.
Okay, and I do.
All right. Tell me where you're standing. Sorry, I just.
So I walked
nothing.
back. I'm standing on a magic carpet that can float over anything that falls away. I walked back to Ionas, so I'm standing with him in front of the metronome.
Okay. Right.
Which I don't know how on the circle that is.
That's the middle. The metronome is kind of the middle.
Got it. Okay. See, I have a different theory on the fingernails. My theory is if I do anything, it doesn't happen. But obviously, we don't know yet. So I do it. That's what I said before. I'll stick to it. So I'll stand next to Ionas and I'll, trace my fingernail across the letters GRIGGLY.
Oh, GRIGGLY. Oh, okay. That's not what I expected. Okay.
That's
okay. As you do that, nothing happens.
Ionas, why did you ask me to use my fingernail?
We were looking at the letters. Damn it! It just came to me that somebody's already tried this, but perhaps they just didn't try the right sequence. Can we do it maybe in the back?
Maybe, but what about your finger? The short finger.
Oh dear God! I take my griggly finger and I do the same thing.
And just to be clear, you are tracing Griggly.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. You trace the G and it lights up. You chase the R and the R lights up. You trace the I, it lights up. G, L, and it's lit up. There's one more letter. Are you doing it?
Yep.
Okay.
Too late now.
Okay. So
we just do.
I mean, you're standing on a teleportation circle.
I know,
You're
that's what I'm
killing me.
saying.
You're killing me right now.
We're leaving Abel. Maybe.
As you trace the last one, the scroll rolls in your hand and you're holding it. You cannot let it go. Your little finger goes inside the rolled up scroll and you can feel your finger get giant and sort of turn almost like it's breaking, and it sort of moves up into the rolled up scroll. You see, now the scroll is about 12 or 13 inches wide. And so when it's rolled up, that's how long it is. And you see the tip of your finger exit out the top of this scroll, and your finger casts a giant blue circle light with it. You're like holding this, it's like a flashlight, and you can see it's flashing straight up, and right above you a hole opens that's rimmed with smoke and blue light, and you can see through it, and you can see a teleportation circle on the other side of it.
So, and this is on the ceiling or just?
It is wherever you are pointing this scroll. As you move it around, the hole moves.
Did you ever play Portal,
Okay.
John?
Yeah.
With you.
Okay. At this point, I think I'd be a little freaked out. I'd say, "Oh God!
Fuck! We figured it out.
Phil-
Oh Jesus!
Filnyr, what? Okay, all right.
Did we
we've
see anything on the other side of the circle, or we just see a circle through that hole?
Just a teleportation circle.
Like a glowing teleportation
You can see
circle.
the entire circle. You can see the entire circle, though, on the other side of the hole. The only thing different about that hole, that circle, is that around the edge are the letters G, R, I, G, G, L, Y.
Aha. So what you just traced.
Yep. Griggly.
There's no answer.
Okay, Filnyr. All right. We have definitely figured something out. We should figure out what to do next. But
Should we have Paulson?
And through the hole
Oh shit!
jumps a man.
Oh.
And through the hole jumps a Durger. And through the hole jumps
Can I
another
pull my
man.
Can I pull
And
my
you
finger
are-
out?
Yeah, you can try. Here, depending on where these things fall, one person's getting in at least. We're in initiative. This is an important roll for you guys.
Yeah, I guess you could roll initiative for everybody, and if they go ahead of us before Jonas can clear it, right?
That's
then
right.
They can make
That's
their
right.
move and jump through.
6.
Not good for me, but I'm not the one with the scroll.
All right, here we go. Fucking 8.
What you get?
Fuck.
8. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm gonna roll 1 right now. All right, the first one got an 8, has a lower dex than Jonas, so that one's going after Jonas. Ugh. All right. This next one. Oh man. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay, this next one is that one's gonna that one. Oh, I already knew that one's gonna make it through though. That one I knew already is gonna make it through. This is the big one. All right, this is the one you want to beat right here. All right, here we go.
The roll averages do not speak well for it.
Oh, Jesus. I got a 4 on that one. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
All right. So from this hole, a man, human, old-looking human in robes jumps down through this hole, and he looks around. "You're not the Lady Luatul?" And immediately starts casting something at you.
But I thought I was ahead of this person.
No,
No,
this
I'm not
person
ahead
got
of
a
this
9.
person.
This person
All
got
right.
a 9.
Immediately starts casting something. Ah, man. All
I'm gonna
right.
give you a chance. I'm giving
right.
you a chance here.
Wild counter.
Oh, the wild counter.
Wild counter level 4.
Okay. All right. Oh, because you don't have counterspell.
I do.
Oh, okay.
But we learned that if it's a higher level, wild counter mathematically is better.
Is that true? Did you guys figure this out?
Well, because while counter, I have a better chance. I have a better chance.
Okay. All right.
According to John's math.
All right. Okay. So he is going to react and counterspell your counter, but he counterspelled it at level 3. So he's going to have to roll better than your counterspell to counter you.
He's got to roll he's got to roll a 14, right?
14. Here we go. Here we go. That is going to be a 21. So he counters your wild counter. And
can he do that while he's casting?
Oh yeah, reaction.
Yeah, it's a reaction.
Baby. It's a reaction. Now
I
the
know,
good
but
news
he's
is
still-
he has no
he's still
reaction
in the middle
left.
of his action. But anyway,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's true. That's true. He has no reaction left though. And he cast. Oh, this is so nasty, guys. He casts, and just outside of him, but he's going to get both of you in this. A smoke cloud forms around you. It's big, and it sort of goes way past, behind you. Saber is not in this.
Awesome.
Saber is still exploring down the hallway and sniffing around. But I need you guys to roll Constitution saving throws.
Blah.
Blah. Do I get advantage? I know it's not for a spell, but I'm just kidding.
It's not for a spell.
All right,
Con
here we go.
save. Here we go.
14.
I got a 13.
Okay. Tim, you are not going to save. John, you are going to save.
Oh my god.
And so you are John, you are going to take. Let's see here. Oh dear.
I'm not being charmed, right?
You're not being charmed. No, indeed. All right, let me get these dice together. Sorry, there's one more. Jesus. All right. You've not seen this spell before. I'll just say that. Okay.
All right.
21 poison damage.
That's from saving?
Oh no, sorry. You get half. You get
Okay.
half.
All right.
Sorry. So you take it at 10, and Tim, you are taking
Third, I take 21.
you take 21.
Plus, am I poisoned?
You are not poisoned, but if you stay in this, it's not going to be good.
And we can still see and move.
Yeah, can we see?
So it is heavily obscured now in this space. So you guys cannot see. You can move, no problem, but you cannot see.
And we knew roughly where he was.
Yes.
Okay.
And he says, oh wait, what's the guy's name? Sorry. Hillis, Comte, come. Humans and a half-elf have tried to use our circles. They are not with the Lady Luatel.
Damn it.
All right, John, it's you.
I'm pulling my finger out of that scroll.
Free action, and you can't see. You can't see except the light is not coming out of the scroll anymore.
Okay, so I'm hoping that closed everything. How far away is this guy?
You can't see him, heavily obscured.
But I could see him before he cast it.
Before he cast, he was about maybe 10, 15 feet away from you. You
10,
did hear
15
his
feet.
feet clicking as
After the crowd showed up.
after he cast.
Okay, I can't. Oh, this is the worst. I can't see anything. All right. This is bad. I'm gonna, as I'm coughing, move into.
Oh wait, and it's the beginning of your turn. You need to
Yeah.
save Constitution saving throw again.
Need to save again.
Again?
Yep.
What spell is this that happens as it's cast and the
Is-
beginning of
what
its
is this,
turn?
cloud kill or something awful?
It is Cloud Kill. It is Cloud Kill.
I love that John knows all the spells.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like all of them.
Okay, here we go. Oh,
Okay.
natural one.
Okay, no, wait. Now this is like, hold on a second. We've already taken the damage for this. This is just like Moonbeam. When a creature enters the spell area for the first time, which we did not do. or when it starts its turn there.
When a creature enters a spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there,
Right.
that creature
But
must.
we did not enter. We did not enter.
Yeah,
the area. This
Moonbeam
is
will
just
give you.
No, Moonbeam, you're not supposed to do the damage until they begin their turn there or move in.
Okay. All right. So you guys have already had your first save. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because
All
we're
right.
both starting our turns there. Nothing is moving us. So.
Okay. All right.
Okay. That makes me feel a lot better.
All right.
It's like otherwise Moonbeam is like fucking broken, right? Because you just move it across people and then they take damage
once it hits them
on
and
the
once they
first
start
time.
to
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
We keep
It's not
coming
the spell
up with
hitting you, it's you entering or being in it at the start of your turn.
Okay. So I already took the damage. Quicksilver Honeysuckle and the opposite direction. Out of the cloud kill.
So away from the caster.
Away from the caster.
Okay. So you are let me get this right. So you're I mean I know how far in you are.
Mm-hmm.
Quicksilver Honeysuckle is going to let you run your normal speed 30 feet. At the end of 30 feet, you are still in it.
And I can run another 30 as a bonus action.
Bonus action, you get out of it, and you have about 10 feet left of movement after you get out of it.
Okay, and then I still have
your action.
An action.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I'm running out in my mind, I'm just saying, Filnyr, get out! And I come out of it and I can't see anything.
I mean, when you come out of it, you don't have your torch. Yeah, you can't see. The floor is still illuminated.
Yeah, the floor is.
So
I can't see past
here.
the cloud. Is what I'm saying. I can't see past.
No,
the cloud.
you can't see past the cloud. No.
Does the servant have to take this? Is the servant in it? Because he's still holding the torch.
The servant is in it.
He doesn't breathe though. I don't think he wouldn't be affected.
No, that doesn't matter if you breathe on cloud kill.
Yeah,
Tim, let me talk us out of this.
He's
knock it off.
He's dead. He's dead. He took a hip.
Well, he's got to roll
damage.
initiative to know if he's dead yet. If he's after us, then
I don't think.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
It's
not until his turn does he take the damage.
He's on John. He's on John's turn. We've been doing this. It's on John's turn. So at the end of John's turn,
that's
he'll
fair.
Die. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I come out of the cloud, and I do something I've never done before, which is cast mirror image.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And three other Jonases pop out from me, and then I begin moving to where I can maybe see around the cloud.
Okay. So you're in the hall. So the hallway narrows.
Okay.
So you cannot. The cloud is extending into the hallway now. So it is fully encompassing the way into that bigger room.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I hear you. I can't get back in without going back through the cloud, and it's moving towards me.
It's moving towards you. You got it.
Okay. All right. That's
your turn, and
that's my turn.
Okay, and the unseen servant dies.
That's great. Awesome.
So a torch falls to the floor.
The torch. Clank, clank, clank. You hear the torch, but you don't see it. Yeah.
Yeah, part of me is trying to like retcon in my head. What did I do with the torch when I pulled out the scroll for Jonas? Like I had to put it down because I have a shield in one hand and then I had the torch in the other.
But the floor in that room is bright. Like if you go toward him and you clear the smoke.
Right. I mean, so I heard which way he went.
You did.
But I also remember where the guy was.
And Jonas said both out loud and in your mind.
I said it into I didn't say it out loud.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
I said it into mind.
Okay.
Damn it.
I want to get out of this fucking cloud. So I'm going to move toward the guy like in a straight line to where he was.
Okay.
Like 15 or 20 feet, but not all my movement, but 15 or 20 feet.
Okay, so when you've used about 15 feet, you get to the edge of the cloud.
Okay.
So you can move out. Well, one more foot. Say so you move 20 feet, and you're
Right.
outside of the cloud.
And do I see him?
You do. He is like 60 feet, like away from you. He is just outside of the Ladybone blue light, and like on the stone in the library area.
I'm going to cast my new spell, Synaptic Static, just on him.
Here, I'm going to do, he's going to do his intelligence check. Intelligence is his best saving
I know.
throw.
I figured he was a wizard, but...
All right. This is a 21.
Okay. Well, he's still going to take
on top,
half.
and on top of that, Cloud Kill is concentration, Tom.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get the damage first.
8d6.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I've got 6 of them here. I'm going to have to roll a few times here. Hold on.
Join the fireball ranks.
Wait. Nope. Yeah, 6 of them. That is 16. Plus, I got to roll 2 more.
Jeez. Okay. Well, he's taking half of this, though, so...
Ooh, 11
Ooh,
more. So
nice.
That's a 6 and a 5 on there. That's good. I had 3 1s in that first group. So 27 cut in half.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't
13.
like that, for sure.
No, and he's got to do a
He's gotta
concentration
make a concentration check.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Okay.
I should just Eldritch Blasted him, and I get multiple.
All right, here we go. And he got a 14, so the Cloud Kill is still killing.
Yep. Okay. And then let me just check one thing here. Hexblade Curse range. Oh, I have to be within 30 feet. Okay, so I'll move the rest of my movement toward him.
Okay. Oh, man. All right, yeah. So he is going to...
So I'm 10 feet closer to him.
He's going to keep moving backwards. And he is... and you see a small orange dot leave his finger as he points it at you, and it goes and it explodes around you, and you have just been hit with a fireball. And let me see here. It's going to be a dexterity saving throw. And it is... Oh!
21 save.
28 damage. Okay.
21 save. Yeah, I've saved
14
it. So 14. Oh, boy.
14. He moves back his full movement, and then he disappears and reappears, and it's dark, and he reappears right at the door.
Okay.
Like a Misty Step, but it's something a little different than a Misty Step.
Right. And he's at the door that we came in from, right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
That's you, Ionas.
All right, I'm a little confused now.
Okay.
I thought I was running towards the door where we came in, and the Cloud was moving down.
Hey, wait,
that hall.
one question. Doesn't Cloud Kill do something on his turn?
On his turn, it moves.
Doesn't it?
It just moves away. It's moving
it
towards
moves
me.
10 feet toward John. No, so he came in. He was between you all and the door you came in on. You ran back toward Saber.
Toward the hatch with
toward
the
the
bush.
hatch.
Toward the hatch.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm here. The Cloud is moving
and
towards me.
There's a hatch there because I told you.
You know there's a hatch there.
Yeah.
That's why I thought you wanted to go that way instead of running toward him.
Well, I mean, either direction. I was just trying to go away from him towards the exit.
So the Cloud moved 10 feet. You were only 10 feet away from the Cloud. You were in the Cloud again.
If that's the case, then screw it all.
Roll your Constitution saving throw.
It's 15.
Okay, so you're going to save on this. Let me get the damage up again. 22. It's 11 damage.
11. All right. Okay. If the Cloud...
And I need you to roll concentration on your Quicksilver Honeysuckle.
Wait, how did he do
19.
Quicksilver Honeysuckle and he's only 10 feet out? That's all you moved, huh?
Yeah, he
That's
said
fine.
that
60
30 feet
feet.
I was still in it, and then another
Okay.
with the bonus
Because
action dash.
Because the way it was spread, yeah.
Yeah. So I keep up the Quicksilver Honeysuckle. The cloud hits me, and I hear explosions and fighting. So I assume Filnyr is fighting. So I don't even know how big this thing is. I can't see
You got
anything.
You got it. Just run straight ahead.
No,
man.
but
you
know,
got it.
you could. I mean, you know.
Well, so
You
if
know
I
we're
if I
fighting.
run,
You
if
could
I
also-
do the 60 feet, can I get out? What do
could
you
also
say?
ask me.
What's that?
Yeah, you could ask him.
You can also ask me telepathically, like, is it clear or whatever, not to play your hand, but
Well,
maybe I said, come forward. It's out of it. You know,
I just well, but that's the thing is that like I'm on the edge. I just don't want Tom to screw me. I want to run straight at Filnyr,
Okay.
and I want to run out of the clouds.
You clear the cloud.
All right.
With your bonus action, you get out and you are on the other side, and you can see now from you, he's about 100. He's about 110, 120 feet away from you at this point. Filnyr is about 60 feet away from him down this hallway.
50 because I moved 10 closer.
50.
So
Okay.
so Filnyr.
Oh no, wait, but he misty stepped. You're probably right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So he is
60.
between me and Filnyr, or I'm closer
No,
to Filnyr.
you're closer to Filnyr. It's
got it.
you.
Yep.
50 feet
Yep.
to Filnyr, and then another 60 to 70 feet to the guy.
Okay. It would be awesome if I had some cool stuff that I could do here. And I've used my movement. I could go 90 feet, but that would take my whole thing. And then I would still only be 30 feet from Filnyr. And the clouds behind me, I can't see the hatch anymore. And the cloud, I guess, can't move anymore because it's up against the wall at this point.
No, it's not all the
Well,
way. It's not all the way.
It'll
there.
just keep going down the hallway from
Yeah.
him.
There's another hall. I was just trying to see where the hatch was and if the cloud was like surrounding the hatch.
No, it's not made it to the hatch yet.
But I couldn't see the hatch anyway because the clouds
Nor
in the
to
way.
Saber. He hasn't made it to Saber yet either.
I'm gonna throw a storm sphere on the guy.
Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, it's like tight area. Like this is going to be wild because it's going to fill the whole room.
Right.
Books start flying off the shelves. It's just fucking mayhem in there. What else happens other than the mayhem?
That's essentially it. He's got books flying all over the place, and those books begin hitting him. He's gonna take
Okay.
20 damage if he
He has
doesn't
to save.
If he
Is it a
doesn't
strength save. Is that right?
Strength.
Oh, this is not so
That's a solid
good
roll right
for
there.
Caster. 17.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
17.
My DC is a 16. Gosh. All right.
17.
So he takes 10 damage there, and then on top of that, nope, I can't do it on top of that, right?
Not yet because you used your bonus action.
I used my
to
bonus
get there.
action.
Yeah.
right. You know what? That's my bad. It's 46 lightning damage. It's 2d6 bludgeoning damage. So just
okay.
have that again. So it'd be 5.
Oh, why is it 5?
Because it's bludgeoning damage. It's not the bonus action lightning strike. It's the,
Okay. All right. I got it.
It's the stuff flying through the air.
Yeah,
I got it.
yeah.
So he took 5 instead of.
And he still has to
But
do a
he's-
concentration check on the
He's
cloud.
got to do
I
the
will.
concentration check, and he's in difficult terrain.
Okay.
The whole thing.
All right. Oh man, Khan is not good. Khan is not good. Cloud Kill's alive. 19.
God, this guy.
Damn, this guy's rolling like crazy.
Seriously, shit.
Oh my god. Okay.
All right, that's me.
All right, Filnyr, it's you.
In my head, I will. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say like Jonas like emerges out of the Cloud Kill. He's looking not so good himself, and he immediately like throws this Nova on him, and the books are flying everywhere, and it's like mage battle now. Can we see through the storm sphere, or is that not something you can see through?
Yeah, you can see through the storm sphere.
Okay.
So first thing I will do is in our raries, I will say, Pawson, get to the top of the stairs
Okay.
as soon as you can.
Can you hear me?
Go.
I'm running.
And then how far is he from me? And how big is the area on your storm sphere coming toward us? Like how much?
It's a
How
20-foot
deep is he?
radius.
and you
Okay.
centered it on him, right?
I centered it on him, yeah. And he was 110
Yeah.
feet. It's a 150-foot range, the major
Right.
range, so
Okay.
I can get it to him in its 20-foot radius.
I am going to. Shit! I can't take another fireball without potentially going down. Fuck this guy. I'm gonna put
It's all right,
sickening
it's all right
radiance on
if
top
you-
of your storm sphere.
It's all right if you can put something on top of there, and if he throws something back, it's fine.
Yeah, no, I mean I've got potions on me and I have a revivifies and all that, but
You're about 60 feet away from him. What's the range on Sickening Radiance?
sickening radiance is 120 feet. It's
Okay.
a 30-foot sphere
All right.
centered on a point. It is
He is-
not difficult terrain.
He is going to try and counterspell as you start to cast. But again, he's doing it at 3rd level.
And I'm casting at 5th level.
So he's going to have to roll for, what is a DC 15 then, right?
16 is my spell save. But yes.
Well,
No,
to
the
counter
spell
this.
level
Yes.
is 5, yeah, so 15.
Okay. He rolled a 1.
Yes.
He's used his reaction.
Yes.
Used a 3rd level spell slot.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That was-
So,
that was big.
yeah, I mean, it's
Okay.
30-foot radius sphere. So just center it on him. Unless that comes up to block to the stairs. Like if it's outside the stairs, I move it in. But I don't know if I can't even see that. So I'll just I'll also say to Pawson, like, don't come in the light. Just wait there.
Okay.
And then
You can still hear me.
So then this is another one where it doesn't happen until his turn, but his turn is next. So
Yeah.
it's a con save or 4d10 radiant.
Okay. All right. This could be bad.
The only thing I have to do left is move, and I might move to behind one of those pillars just to have some cover so he doesn't have a line of sight on me.
Okay. All right. So con save first. Oh, he does not save. All right.
All right, let's do it, baby. 18 damage
Woo!
and 1 level of exhaustion, and he
Ugh.
is now glowing a dim greenish light,
Oh my
and so he
God.
cannot be invisible.
All right.
That's pretty awesome.
Okay.
He also has to save for my storm sphere at the end of his turn.
At the end of his turn. Okay.
So it's his turn. I'm tucked behind a pillar.
Okay. So he doesn't know what's on the other side of that door.
No, he does have to make another con save for his
For his
concentration.
cloud kill.
Yeah.
Again?
Well, yeah, because on his turn when he takes the sickening radiance,
13.
he's
Man.
got it. Okay.
He did it. Okay.
And it moves 10 feet further away from us.
Wait, why does he do that?
No, that's what
The
cloud kill
cloud
does.
moves 10 feet
Oh,
further
yeah,
away.
the cloud moves. Yeah. Yeah, it's
Because it
getting
like
closer to
emanates from
Saber.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's easy though, John. Come on.
Well,
now.
but it's my, like, it might be my action.
It's an
So-
action to bamf him, not your bonus. Anyway,
Yeah.
I need my bonus action.
All right.
it's true. You do.
It's not going to matter, I don't think. So he disappears and he appears 30 feet closer to Filnyr and Jonas. He's still in the sickening radiance, right? It's 30
Yeah,
foot.
it's 30 feet.
He's
Yeah.
outside of the storm sphere, and he just steps out of the nasty green radiant, and now he's glowing, and it's awful because he does have invisibility, and he knows what this means. He's like a master of these things, and he is going to try and get you both in this fireball, and he is casting this baby.
Counterspell.
Fuck. Okay. Oh. And it just works because he's already used his counterspell, and he suddenly looks really scared and super limp, and he like goes down to his knees and he says, "I am sorry. Please don't kill me. I surrender to you." And it's your turn.
Okay. He goes to his knees and starts saying, "I'm sorry, but he doesn't get that out because he gets hit by a lightning bolt.
Okay.
It's a terrible, terrible roll. Damn, 4d6. That's 9
Wait.
damage.
Don't you have to roll to
Ugh.
hit?
Oh, I think you're right. Let me try that first. Let's try that first.
Just try it first.
Let's
Just try to do it.
Let's do this.
Hey, man.
So he gets on his knees and a lightning bolt like goes right beside him. Bam! Right,
Okay.
just kapow! And it scares him. And then I bamf Saber right beside me.
Okay. All right.
Wait, did the cloud go away?
No,
No, it's still there. Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, if you'll give me a free action, I can bamf Saber right beside me.
I'm
and then
not
do
giving you a
something.
free action. But the lightning was only a bonus action.
It's only
right?
the bonus action.
Yeah.
That's why.
So you
That's
can
why I
have
was. That's why I was saying I'll free action Saber and then do something else.
I mean, it's up to you, man.
What is it normally for the familiar to bamf him?
It's an
I
action.
don't. I've never really done it during combat, but I think it's an action.
It's an action. You can use your action to dismiss him.
Got it.
Yeah. And a new action the next turn or whenever to bring him back.
Yeah, sure, right. Oh, yeah.
You still have an action. He's not dead yet. You could tell him to move as far away as possible. That's a free action.
Climb the ladder. Because Cloudkill goes on the floor,
but
right?
it's like, I don't know. Maybe he can climb, but that's exactly what I was going to say. Saber, climb the ladder. Just tell him to head over that way. And then I'll try to firebolt the guy. Man, goddamn. Damn, I rolled a 2 for 10 total.
Wow. That's really bad.
Yeah.
He is easy to hit, but
Great.
But not with that. So, all right. Filnyr, it's you.
All right, so he's how far from me now? 30 feet?
30 feet.
Right on the edge of the sickening radiance.
He's just outside of it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Would it help? Now I wish I hadn't taken the smite, the invocation that brings things closer. Now I want the one that pushes. I'm going to use my bonus action to Hexblade's Curse him, and then I'm going to approach him, and I'm going to swing with my sword.
All right.
16 on the first swing.
Hits.
Okay. 14 damage.
All right. How do you do it? What do you do to him?
Wow.
He didn't have
weak,
a lot of
dude.
hit points, man. He only had
He's a
40 hit
wizard.
points.
I knew it. I knew I just had to get
Yeah.
close. Like that was all I needed.
That's it.
But he was so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just swing for his neck. This is like no messing around anymore.
Yeah, so you slice right through his throat. He's saying the word Luatul as you kill him, and it just exits his throat like air, and you hear Luat, and he slumps over dead.
Okay.
And the cloud kill is gone.
Yep. And I also get back my warlock level plus my charisma modifier back in HP, which is
Nice.
part of why I did that. So I get 13 HP back, which puts me back up into middle ground, better than half. And I'll drop the sickening radiance and tell Pawson, never mind, it's all clear. We took care of it. And then let's search the guy.
Are we out of initiative?
You're out of initiative.
Okay, yeah. I dropped the storm sphere is gone too.
Man.
Saber comes back to me. I just Filnyr, I apologize. I may have gotten a little too curious back there.
Well, perhaps we can be prepared when we try that again.
And yes, and perhaps we should wait for Abel and whatever other army we can muster. So yeah, we're searching the guy.
All right. He's got a dagger. Super nice looking dagger, like magic coming off of it. And he's got a book, of course.
I was about to say, there's got to be a spell book, dude.
A sack full of platinum.
Ooh.
When I say full of, I mean 9. It's a small sack, and it's full of 9 platinum.
Yep.
And he's got, like, honestly, these robes that he's wearing are, like, they're not, like, nobility robes, Jonas. These are, like, high wizard robes. Like, you know, this is, like, wizard school type robes here that he's wearing. They're not magical. They're just super nice.
Super nice.
Yep.
Might be able to put this in my store.
Good idea. And you notice that the clicking on the mechanism is slowing a little bit. You hear the stones that you moved, the OGD, you moved the GOD back on it.
Mm-hmm.
They slip out of place, and the floor goes dark. And there's the torch on the floor that your unseen servant was using, and there's the torch on the floor that Filnyr was holding. And you all are underneath the temple, and you hear, kind of in the distance, you hear, "What? What? I don't believe it."
And the teleportation circle goes away.
Yeah. And thus ends episode 41 of Every War Must End, the Dungeon Dads podcast.
Oh, damn. just experimenting. Went
And
wrong.
it's all before breakfast.
Yeah. Again.
Yeah.
All spell slots before dawn. Oh my gosh, man. That was wild. What happened?
That was wild.
Yo, I have to say, I may have dialed things up a little too much there.
Oh, that was fun.
That was
There was
great,
a dirty,
yeah.
yeah. But look, you would not have survived if
That's why
you
I was
wouldn't have
pulling my finger out, man.
pulled
like
your
quick.
finger out.
I,
Man,
Yeah,
I thought you were going to spell out Trip God. And
I figured. Well, see now I have thoughts about where that goes, but we should save that for the bonus episode.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
save
we'll
it for
save
the
it.
bonus episode.
Come on to Patreon and hear the bonus
I
episode.
know.
Find
Oh,
out what I'm thinking.
man. Be well, everybody. Toodaloo. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with Sam Frank back with us. And there's going to be some explaining to do from these guys.
Indeed.
Choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba-da-ba-da-choo-ba